Sawadika and welcome to Academic Talk. And as you know, today we talk a lot about the media ethics, which is very important issues, controversial and also critical nowadays. So today we're going to talk about the media ethics, the unforgettable story. And it's such a great opportunity for all of us to have an expert and also the communication scholar with us in the program today. So please give a warm welcome to Assistant Professor Dr. Pong Wisessang from the School of Communication Arts, Bangkok University. Sawadika, and thank you very much indeed for joining us. So let's start with the first question. What factors do drive Thailand to be currently placed in the 137th rank in the press freedom 2011 to 2012, which is the current one?
Okay, number of ranking is important, but in my opinion, it's not as quite important as the decreasing of the level of the press freedom of Thailand, because we used to be the number used to be a lot less. Used to be 2-digit number. I mean less than 100, but now it's 137. That's quite high. And compared to the neighboring countries like Laos and Cambodia, you know, their ranking is a little lower than Thailand, but the number is better. But in Thailand, number of Thailand's press freedom it's devastating stage at the moment. Press freedom and the freedom of the people, it should go in the same direction, because the media is like the representative of people. You know, it's set between the government and the people. So if the people still don't understand, don't realize their own freedom, their right and their freedom of speech, so how can they understand the freedom of the press? In my opinion, there are several factors. We cannot pinpoint just one factor or two factors. The type of government itself, if it's the authoritarian or dictatorship or democratic, like what we are, you know, saying that we have, but that by theory, it's not. You know, we have you see that people and the press, you know, use their freedom in the wrong direction for their own benefits, their own use, to serve their own purpose. Media have a purpose itself. People also have purpose itself. Government also have the purpose itself. So the media is used, you know, as a tool of the people and of the government, and also as a tool of the media itself, you know, to establish the power of the financial power or political power itself.
So what should the media do? I mean, to stay alive in a society?
The media can stay alive without any problem. You know, in every country, the media can survive pretty well in every country, no matter what, Burma or Myanmar, or Thailand or Finland, you know. So it depends on the media itself and the people also. In developed country, you know, in the civilized country, or we can say most of the Western country, or in the East, like Japan or Korea, people are more literate. You know, people are more literate, so they can control the media to serve the people, the mass benefit, not to serve the benefits of the government or what's itself. So there are three factors basically, but actually there are more. You know, it's like education in the country, financial stage of the country. By definition, it's still the same. You know, but in practice it's a lot different. As everybody, you and me and everybody have realized that nowadays media, like we mentioned earlier, the media has become tools of government, has become tools of the product owners. You know, so they all use media as a tool to achieve their own purpose. The government in Thailand also, they have their own, practically they have their own channel like NBT, you know, as a tool to propagate their policies, their activities. Other channels like Channel 3, Channel 7, you know, fully commercial. So they are the tools, they are tools of the product producers, manufacturers, entrepreneurs, to reach to their target consumer, not audience anymore. So in practice, I think it's the same. The media have their own duty, own function, to inform us, to educate us, to persuade us, or whatever that we know. But who use it?
So what about the media ethics? Any change?
Ethics is like it should be basic instinct of people. Wherever you are, whenever you are regular people, or you are people in the media, you are people in the government. The ethics should be the same, because the ethics tell you what you should do or what you shouldn't do. But in the media nowadays, from several cases, we can tell that the lack of ethics, they are not quite ethical nowadays. Teenagers nowadays prefer to go into the media to pursue their own future than going to school to pursue their education, because the media has become tools for them to gain more money, to achieve the purpose of society nowadays is the wealth. You become rich so fast, and nowadays money and ethics, it goes separate way. Media ethics still the same. It's pretty sure no matter how you write the code of ethics, but it depends on what you're thinking inside your conscious mind. I can say that the ethics of the media is there, but it will be used by the person in the media or not. That's the question. If you want to gain popularity, you have to serve the needs of the consumer or audience. So if you know that audience like to watch the program with full of violence, will you produce a program that interview like you and me are doing? So that would bring back to the answer. That's the ethics and the money and the rating usually goes separate direction. A good program never get good rating. So if you don't get good rating, you don't get money. Being a watchdog is the primary, or the priority function of mass media that every media got to do. To be a watchdog. The question is, a good watchdog or not? Because if you're a good watchdog, you would be concerned with the consequence of what you report to the viewers, not just to gain rating, but you inform, as a watchdog, you inform your audience to get them prepared, to get them ready for what's going to happen. And what's going to happen usually that could harm their life, their security, their wealth. So the function, the duty is still there, but not every media, would do that. Media got to watch what's either government or private enterprise, what they are doing. Media got to watch, got to stick with the activity of those institutions or those sectors. If you are double standard, you corrupt yourself, how can you cross-check, or how can you dare, to check others, to examine others? So if this thing happen, the media will never, or they will lose the credibility, in checking on others, in examining others, like governments and private sectors, if those sectors found being guilty of corruption, because you are corrupted yourself, okay?
Right.
Ethical issue is not the legal issue, okay? So it depends on the person. The person should decide what is, if he is accountable, okay, he should decide what's best for the society, not for himself, because you are the media person, you should be more considerate, for the society, not for yourself.
So as you said earlier that it depends on the government, it depends on the media per se, and also the people. So what would you like to say to the government, to the media, and also to the people?
It is almost impossible to say to the government, but the government should realize itself. But if you see in Thailand, how to tell the government, because the government try every chance, to take control of the media. Even we have new committee, the NBTC,
right.
The National Broadcasting and Telecommunication Committee. The media is practically still in the hand of government. People got to be more literate, more educated, to know that the media, the frequency that the media use, they can also should gain, let's say, like benefits, from how it's being used. So the government should realize themselves. People also should realize themselves also how to treat the media, the frequency, in what way.
All right. So anyway, thank you very much indeed once again for joining our program, and hope to see you soon. ขอบคุณค่ะ
You're welcome.
So see you next time. Bye.